scandal. So the so-called corruption syndicate is now under the scanner, and we have accessed viewers some exclusive diary entries, and these are the diary entries which expose the extent of the rot. They expose really what is this transfer posting ring, and that has been busted. Let's go to our my colleague Amita, who's going to take us through this diary entry. Amita, give us more details on this diary entry. What do they reveal?
So, Meenakshi, what is being said so far that these are certain documents, diary entries and even loose sheets that have been recovered during the investigation, and when it comes to the searches that have been taking place on part of the Enforcement Directorate attached to the bundles of cash as well. Now, what they have been suggesting, rather, even when it comes to certain individuals who have been named, there have been dates that have also been made, their names that have also been made, and certain positioning of notes that has also been made on the sideline. You can see these check marks that have also been made. These are being said that have been kept with the cash. So far now, what is also being said, you can see the BDO's name, all of the location that has also been mentioned, their names that have been mentioned. These are several round of letters there. More importantly, there has been there you can see when it comes to the picture of the Chief Minister and other ministers there in the Jharkhand government, there have been certain wordings when it comes to the BDO, इन्हें यहाँ से हटाना ज़रूरी है, such kind of wordings that have been made, highlighted के हटाना ज़रूरी है. In fact, what we also had in that exclusive conversation earlier with Shri Rajesh Thakur, PCC, he's the PCC head of the Congress unit there in Jharkhand. The signatures that seems to attach on the date, which is of last year 2023. These are said to be incriminating documents, Meenakshi, that seems to suggest that there could be a possible link of all of those names in detail, that these diary entries that have been maintained in the cash haul that is still being counted by the Enforcement Directorate.
Absolutely, Amita, and thank you for taking us in such detail through these diary entries, viewers. And these diary entries looks like are going to increase the trouble for those whose names possibly have cropped up, because we have a breaking input coming in that ED is going to investigate these letters and the documents which have been seized during the searches. Now remember, during the searches, signed letters have been found. Some loose sheets, as my colleague Amita was also telling us, have been recovered, and these reportedly were kept with the cash. So they are going to be probed, and there's going to be a further investigation into these letters and documents which have been seized during the searches. Remember, some really big names have cropped up, and possibly it could, of course, open a can of worms. It could open the Pandora's box. Bhavtosh is going to join us in a bit, and he's going to give us. All right, Bhavtosh is there with us. Bhavtosh, ED is going to investigate these letters and the documents which had been seized during raids, during the searches. We were talking about the signed letters which have been found. Take us through what the ED is expected to do next, their next course of action, and if you could also discuss a little more in details, what do these big names cropping up in these documents mean? Do they say anything about their culpability or not? Could you elaborate on that a little more?
Well, as far as these searches are concerned, started early in the morning, and what ED has found out is that at certain places, some letters as well as loose sheets have been found. Whether these loose sheets are connected to the ongoing investigation is something which is subject matter of investigation. Remember, some letters which are reputedly or purportedly signed by concerned ministers, which are addressed to the Chief Minister, they have also been found. And ED has said is that they will investigate that matter. Now, right from 2022 onwards, ED has taken up slew of cases in Jharkhand, and this has in fact led to a huge controversy in the state, with the ruling government alleging that center has been using the concerned federal probe agency against them. But ED has said that the fact that among the wads of cash that has been seized, these documents as well as loose sheets that have been found is something that obviously will be investigated further, because when the probe in this case started way back in February itself, they have found out that commission that was being taken by Virendra Kumar was not only being taken on his behalf, but he claimed that it went to the higher ups in not only but also among the politicians. Now, this has also been mentioned by the Enforcement Directorate in the remand note that was submitted in the court. It specifically mentioned that he was not the only person who got the end benefit of it, of the commissions that was around 0.3% of the huge contract that were being taken up by the private individuals as well as by the private firms. It went up to the politicians as well as to the bureaucrats. The person whose residence has been searched, his links with the PS and the PS links with the minister is also subject matter of investigation. And that's what, in fact, has led to a fresh war of words between BJP and Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and also Congress. Now, ED has officially, it actually has not issued any statement, but the visuals have gone completely viral, not only in Jharkhand, but also across the country. Shocking visuals coming out at a time when the state will be going to general elections.
Yes,
and the third phase,
absolutely, you are right. Bhavtosh, of course, as far as the letters are concerned and the loose sheets, there are big names. And of course, as you were telling, and we'd also like to underline that their connection or not to the case is a subject matter of investigation. Whether it will open a Pandora's box, we'll have to wait and watch. When you speak of the probe, politics has begun. But Bhavtosh, you're talking about how the investigation into this case had become 10 to 15 months ago. The genesis, obviously, and one of the most central character is this water department engineer Virendra Ram. Shed more light on really who he is. What is the backgrounder of the case for the benefit of our viewers, Bhavtosh?
Well, as far as the case is concerned, ED in fact had the case stems from FIRs that were filed again in this case by the Jharkhand police. ED had in its investigation had said that they had taken cognizance of these FIRs. Now, the case of ED is that Virendra Kumar, who was the chief engineer in the water resource department, he was allegedly taking commissions. Now, when they carried out raids and searches way back in February 2023, they found that in his bank accounts, there were a huge amount of cash, not only in his bank accounts, but also that of his father, also of his mother and wife. And this amount of cash was between 9 crores to
absolutely, and yes, and we're losing the network also there, Bhavtosh, but of course we understand the genesis of the story, and that is when the alarm bells began. The investigation was launched, and today, of course, we have those eye-popping visuals of cash haul, the amount of money which we can't even imagine, running up to 20-30 crores or perhaps even more. Counting is on. Who knows what the final figure is, but for now, thank you for joining us with all these details.